Trump's crypto Sherpa Hines says crypto legislation on target for quick completion. The head of the Presidential Council of Advisors for Digital Assets says new laws could be set by August, and Trump's own crypto interests aren't a factor. Strategists for 2 U.S. bills meant to create an oversight regime for crypto are setting out plans this week to pass legislation in the summer. Hines, the White House official at the center of those efforts, told CoinDesk. Hines, who President Donald Trump hired as executive director of the Presidential Council of Advisors for Digital Assets, told CoinDesk in an interview that the procedures are being ironed out to move legislation on regulating stablecoin issuers, and the crypto advocates in the White House and Congress will quickly pivot to the bigger bill that will set a full regulatory regime for U.S. crypto markets. The progress so far puts the efforts well on pace to achieve what the president desires, he said, which is that both crypto bills reach Trump's desk for signatures before Congress takes its summer recess in August. The president's advisor, who is a speaker at Consensus 2025 in Toronto May 14th to 16th, said the bills to regulate stablecoin issuers that are moving through the Senate and House of Representatives are 90% aligned, so it won't be a difficult task to bring them together into a unified approach that would still need approval in both chambers. We're in the process of mitigating any differences between the two chambers there, but we feel like, we're in a really good spot to get that passed and signed into law, he said. It lays the foundation for everything that we can do. He said the more complex undertaking to write laws for how the U.S. should police the overall markets should emerge in draft bills in the next few weeks. While Congress is moving unusually fast, the president's own crypto business interests have been criticized by Democrats who accuse Trump of improperly benefiting from his own policies and of inviting foreign influence from investors in his family's projects. Trump's interests include stakes in World Liberty Financial and the president's own memecoin, Dollar Trump. Hines pushed back, saying the rise of crypto has presented attractive innovations for investors. Any good business person would engage in a marketplace opportunity like that, he said. So, I don't view it as being detrimental in any capacity whatsoever. The president and his family have the ability to engage with any marketplace that they see fit, Hines said. We're narrowly focused on just doing what's in the best interest of the United States to make the U.S. the crypto capital world, usher in the golden age of digital assets, and we have our binders on to everything else, he said. That's what the president's asked us to do, and we're going to deliver on his wishes. The White House official, 29, is known as a staunch loyalist to Trump, who had endorsed the former college football player in the first of his 2 unsuccessful North Carolina congressional campaigns. Despite his relative inexperience in the crypto field, Trump elevated Hines to a senior White House role to work beside crypto czar David Sachs and act as a Sherpa between White House policy, interagency activity, industry, and what's happening on Capitol Hill, as Hines described it. We move at a speed that no other administration has ever been able to move before, Hines noted. Many in the digital assets industry had clamored for a digital assets reserve at the federal level, though the idea for how to approach it varies widely. Trump's campaign trail promises surged toward reality in March when he ordered his administration to start work on a Bitcoin, BTC, reserve and a separate stockpile of other crypto assets. One point of disappointment for those who'd wished for it was that Trump insisted the reserve be budget neutral, meaning no new taxpayer money would go toward acquiring assets for the reserve. Hines has been a prominent booster of this effort. He said the Treasury-led audit of U.S. crypto holdings, which needs to be done to find out the extent of assets, so far unmeasured, that'll be directed into the stockpiles, is progressing quickly. The Treasury Department is now going through audit reports from various corners of the U.S. government, he said. Trump had directed his administration to work out ideas for how to add even more to the funds without tapping taxpayers. And Hines said they're still fleshing out the best ideas. I don't think there's going to be one single resolution where we say, this is the path that we're going. I think there could be multiple ways in which we engage in this, Hines said. We view Bitcoin as digital gold, and we want to accumulate as much as we can. He didn't have a timeline in mind for when the first tokens will begin stacking up as a long-term U.S. government investment. The transition from President Joe Biden to Trump's administration has been stark for the industry, until recently a target of government suspicion, and now celebrated as an innovative movement that should be fostered. Already, regulatory agencies such as the Securities and Exchange Commission have reversed policies and started crypto roundtables behind doors that had been largely closed to digital assets discussions. And Trump himself held a crypto summit in the room of the White House where state dinners are hosted. We move at a speed that no other administration has ever been able to move before, Hines noted. Hines said he's had as many as 200 meetings with crypto insiders in his short stint in the government, and he granted that their opinions can range widely. But he thinks the industry is largely aligned where it needs to be as Congress and regulators are considering its U.S. future. When asked about some industry concerns about splitting the crypto legislation into two rather than a combined, single effort to improve its odds, he said details could still be worked out, though he's currently focused on a stablecoin bill being quickly followed by market structure legislation. The crypto push, which he said some will portray as being a chaotic process, looks that way because that's always the case in government policymaking when you're attempting to effectuate change. We're talking about revolutionizing a financial marketplace which has basically been archaic for the last 3 decades, he said. I just think that people should be very excited about what's to come. Jesse Hamilton is CoinDesk's deputy managing editor on the global policy and regulation team, based in Washington, D.C. Before joining CoinDesk in 2022, he worked for more than a decade covering Wall Street regulation at Bloomberg News and Businessweek, writing about the early whisperings among federal agencies trying to decide what to do about crypto. He's won several national honors in his reporting career, including from his time as a war correspondent in Iraq and as a police reporter for newspapers. Jesse is a graduate of Western Washington University, where he studied journalism and history. He has no crypto holdings.